of the members, the officers, directors, electors, and board of trustees of the International Polka Association. Congratulations and welcome Kevin Adams, Hall of Fame class of 2014. We'd like to present you with this diamond encrusted gold pin and a plaque in recognition of this great event. Kevin?
Mr. President, electors, trustees, directors, and board of the IPA, fellow inductees, award winners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I first started thinking about my remarks and what I would say to you today, the very first thing that popped into my head was, you better get started. This banquet is in 3 days. No, I have thought about this a lot, and really when it comes right down to it, the only thing I need to say today are 2 words, 2 very important words. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to the trustees and electors of the IPA Hall of Fame for honoring me in this way. It's the highest honor in all of polkas, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. So thank you again, trustees and electors, for thinking me worthy of inclusion into the Hall of Fame. There are many others I need to mention, people who have helped me along the way, people who have helped me and took my path to where it is today. So I need to mention a few of them. First of all, thanks to God. He has so richly blessed me and continues to bless me. He's the source from whom all blessings flow. And it is by His amazing grace that I stand right here in this spot today. Zerniak's Polka Dots and the Dobozinski brothers and the Cavaliers both played pool parties at the IPA convention when it was in Milwaukee. And I have great memories of those events, great memories of playing with them, and just absolutely terrific memories of growing up and all the musicians that I played with. I carry that Minnesota flag in my heart. And I thank them all. You betcha. I left to go out east and continue my education. I hooked up with a family band out there, swinging brass, and they took me in as family. I spent holidays with them when I couldn't afford to go home, and I just can't say enough about how welcoming they were. Dick Pillar deserves a very sincere thank you as well. Dick taught me discipline at a time when I really needed it. That has helped me immensely in my career. Also, my writing and arranging blossomed with Dick's encouragement. He used my arrangements on his recordings, and I thank him for that as well. I cannot say enough about my experience with Eddie Blazonczyk. First of all, it was a pretty good gig. No question about that. But aside from all those jobs I played with him and the good times on the road, the experience with Eddie actually changed my life, because this is how I met my wife. When I first came on the band in 1987, just a couple of weeks before that actually, at the IPA convention, first week of August of '87, a young girl from Southern Ohio, Barbara Gadula, was named IPA Queen. And she was representing the IPA. I met her in Chicago when I was playing there, and my life has never been the same. I never would have met her were it not for my experience with Eddie, and I have him to thank for that. And I'll never forgive Eddie. I mean, forget Eddie. Forgive slut maybe. Thanks also to my Chicago Push bandmates. You're a terrific group of guys on and off the stage, and I share this Hall of Fame induction with all of you. And on the subject of bandmates, brother musicians, I've just a couple more people I want to call out for recognition. First of all, Jimmy Sakowicz is here. We have a 30-year friendship going back to Dick Pillar's band, and I thank him for everything he did for me. Also, Hall of Famer Eddie Skincher, who couldn't be here today. I just spoke with him this week, and he has been very helpful for me in my career. Joe Zaleski also. Joe, I want to call out from Toledo Polka Motion. In the mid-90s, after I left Eddie, and during the time in that period, I got some work with him. I was a substitute for a while, and he recorded 2 of my songs on his Party All Night album. Joe, I really appreciate that. More recently, I had the chance to work with 2 Hall of Famers that I hadn't worked with before, Mike Matuzik and Frank Lischka, when I subbed with the boys recently. So thanks for keeping me visible, and thanks for being so encouraging, so open and warm. You guys are a blast to play with, and you make me bring my A game. Well, you have made me a success, and I thank you. I thank you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Mr. Eddie Biergein. Put your hands together for Eddie Biergein.
Eddie Biergein.
Rick wanted me to be reminded that I have 2 minutes. Thank you, Ms. Dickey, for making me leave the first draft of 65 pages in the room. And, you know, a guy wears a bikini on stage 200 or 300 times and right away he's marred for life. It's an honor, a privilege, and I'm humbled to be a part of this organization here, the IPA Hall of Fame. To raise me to the category and level of people like Happy Louie, Scrubby, Walt Solek, Whitey Pavola from the Naturals, both Connecticut twins, Gene Vishnetsky, Little Wally, Marisha Datta, and so many, many more. Again, I'm honored and humbled. I thank you all very, very much. All the bands that I've been involved with over the years, but the 2 most prominent bands over the years, Toledo Polka Motion, all those guys, Steve Zilka, Tim Berger, Bobby Lynn, Frankie Bramczyk, Michael Talinsky, Joe Zaleski, who is in the audience here today. Thank you, Joe. Andy Pavlak, the Ange Man, Dave Kish, and Ted as well, those guys that were part of the Toledo Polka Motion during my years, and if I missed anyone, I do apologize. And then after leaving Toledo Polka Motion, which a lot of people thought was a foolish move, you're on top of the world with a band that's Grammy nominated. You've gotten several awards with this band, including a Male Vocalist Award. How much more do you want? Well, call me greedy, but I wanted to play Eastern style, and that just wasn't in the cards with the Toledo Polka Motion band. So I moved on and did a whole new thing called Crusade. And I want to say thank you to all those guys. Dave Kish, Jimmy Motskevich, Kaz, Randy Krajewski, who couldn't be here, Doug and Brian Galuzhny, Matt Lewandowski, who is here. Matt, thank you so very much for being here. Johnny Daigle, Rocky, Davey Pietchak. He only lives down the road. Why the hell didn't he show up? Have a talk with that boy. Frankie Bramczyk, once again, Andy Pavlak, and Eric Height. And once again, if I've missed anybody, thank all of you people. Richie Coyce. I skipped over the top of that. Richie, who is here as well. Thank you so very much. To a couple of people who've done great work with me, and without them, once again, I wouldn't have been captured the way I was. Gary Ramey, who's here today, thank you so very much for all your work in the studio. And another engineer that we spent a lot of time with, Bob Brown. Thank you very, very much. To the other bands that I get a chance to work with today, thank you. RBO, TKO, Bud Hadinsky, who's still in the hospital recuperating. I ask you very much for your prayers for Bud Hadinsky. He's making progress, but is definitely not out of the woods yet. I know I'm missing another band. Polski Swing Masters, who decided after I stepped out of the polka music scene for a while and was not performing anymore, they decided that grabbing this rusty old accordion player and making it come up on stage with a whole bunch of guys that are even older than I was and rustier. We made some good music together for a while there, so it was a lot of fun too. Thank you to them. And someone who is sorely missing from the Hall of Fame, Dave Zahowski. You guys know him from Wham Records for years. I think it's a guy who needs to be there. Thank you guys so very much. To all the IPA members, honorees, other people being inducted today, and all the award winners, I thank you so very much. And I want to thank a special person too. This wasn't written in my speech at all, but I think a real class act, Mr. Lenny Gomolka, walked up to me and handed me a card. It's probably a bill for a parking ticket or something like that, but Lenny, a real class act. Thank you very much. To everyone, thank you very much. Dziękuję bardzo.
On behalf of the members, officers, electors, and Board of Trustees of the International Polka Association, we'd like to present Mr. Frizzell with the diamond-encrusted gold pin and Hall of Fame plaque in recognition of his election into the Polka Hall of Fame class of 2014, Mr. Alfred Frizzell.
First of all, I thank the good Lord above for letting me do what I love to do all my life. I thank my wife Bernice, my daughter Cindy, the grandchildren Matthew and Jessica, the musicians that played in the Vrajel band for 55 years that we performed, my brother Anton Vrajel, my son-in-law, the late Thomas Stremiska, band members Albert Hazemeyer and David Troacek, who are in the audience today. I also want to thank Willie and Joyce Bohuslav for their confidence and support and nominated me for this award. Willie and Joyce, thank you very much. Many thanks to all our fans who gave their loyal support and continued support as listeners of our Sunday radio show, and who traveled hundreds and thousands of miles to the Vrajel Polka Band performances throughout the many years that we performed. I am very happy to say that polka music is alive and well in the great state of Texas. And I think my good friend Molly B will attest to that. They toured Texas many times. We have as many, if not more, polka bands in Texas right now than when we started playing in the early 1950s. Although polka music can be heard all across the USA, you'll find that different regions, areas, even individual states tend to feature polka music of differing styles. And even though these differing styles do not always get to meet, my wish is that our heritage and love of polka music inspire each future generation so that it will be heard for years to come. Again, I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Dziękujemy mocno.
inspire up-and-coming concertina players. It was his way of preserving polka music. Cliff Hermel is a legend, known for the granddaddy of them all, given polka days. I am so grateful to have grown up under the influence of this great promoter. Here to accept Cliff's induction into the International Polka Association Hall of Fame is his son, Brad Hermel.
Members, officers, directors, electors, and trustees of the International Polka Hall of Fame. We'd like to present Brad with the diamond encrusted gold pin and Hall of Fame plaque honoring him with the induction and election, the IPA Hall of Fame class of 2014.